Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you hit that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve skill-based matchmaking. At least I hope so. In this video, we're going to be levying some criticism upon the game of Enlisted, and I typically don't do this, or at least I don't do it often, but it seems lately they just don't seem to have their finger on the pulse of the community, as they have put out a couple of updates now that have, garnered a pretty decent amount of negative feedback. So let's go ahead and get into that and see what's going on. So getting into the first thing, 3 days ago, I'm sure anybody who's a regular player of Enlisted has been participating already, but they dropped a new event for the Liberation of Paris, and to say the least, it has garnered a 50-50 reaction because, at first glance you're thinking, oh wow, cool, we get 4 pistols and we get a Farquhar Hill, but like when you look into it a little bit more, you can see why people are a little bit disgruntled, because when it actually comes to using the Liberator, it's actually a piece of shit. So I get why people are mad about that, to the point where they just cram 4 of them in a quick and easy event. And one thing that I have also noticed is that when it comes to like throwaway events in Enlisted, they always want to put them in while another event is going, which would obviously be the aviation event, which I'm not complaining, and I want to say personally for me, I want to applaud them, because the more events you put out in quick succession, the more lively the games feel overall. So it's good for me in a sense, but also I can see why people are a little bit mad when you're giving them useless pieces of equipment. And it could be a meme, or it could be taken that way. It doesn't really bother me, because there's so many other good pistols in the game that I have. But for somebody who's like new to the game and they don't have any pistols and they're just collecting 4 of these, I can see why they would be upset. The Farquhar Hill is the only definitive good thing out of this event, and again, it kind of makes sense why they would use it as a throw-in while the aviation event is going. So again, the memes kind of make sense to me, and I can see why there's a bit of a 50-50 split on why people like and or hate the addition of this new event while the other one is going. But I mean, again, the more events, the better the game of Enlisted is overall, so you got to take the good with the bad on that one. I guess something else that I could add on is that despite the Liberator pistol being quote-unquote iconic, especially for saboteurs and partisans or anybody who was part of the French resistance during that era, it is a very unique pistol. But something that would have been a little bit better and probably would have garnered way better feedback with the Enlisted community in general is if they would have used an experimental rifle. And just I'm going to take a page out of my last video, the Moz 44, again, probably would have been a better addition to add into the game along with the Farquhar Hill instead of 4 Liberator pistols. Or maybe you could have did 2 pistols and then some Moz 44s and then a Farquhar Hill. I don't know, but again, when you're just handing out a bunch of pistols and then a rifle at the end, and then you're putting a timer on that event, a very short timer mind you, I can see why people would be a little peeved at that. But that's not the only post that Enlisted has put out this week that has pissed off a good handful of the community members. Just today, actually, they put out a pre-order pack called Heavy Assault Tanker Squad. And in this pack, they announced that they are making preparations for the upcoming major update. And I guess this is just another time for them to, for some odd reason, ask for money. My thing with this pre-order pack, right? Normally, they would come with a squad, and when I say squad, I mean like an infantry squad that you can actually use to effectively capture objectives in the game. And this is where my first piece of criticism comes in. Is this game not primarily supposed to be focused on infantry? I do understand it hails or has a basically lineage from War Thunder, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more as well, don't you worry. But yeah, man, making pre-order packs and only putting tanks in them is a little asinine to me, because you're kind of diluting the purpose of this game. This is a infantry focused game first, and if I remember correctly, when they released the Pacific and they had pre-order packs for that, you got an infantry squad and you got a vehicle squad with that. So it's I don't know, I'm just tracing my memory back, and I feel like they're getting a little skimpy and kind of cheap on this. And well, I guess cheap is kind of the ironic word to use here, because when you look at the price of this pack, it actually costs $50. And again, this is where my second piece of criticism comes in for Enlisted, because they don't seem to be getting the memo on matching their player base wallets or meeting them where they're available, because why are you charging $50 for just 2 tanks? And like, I'm gonna just put this up on the screen as a comparison. I'm gonna show you what I was paying for when I actually was spending money on the game on a more consistent basis. Like when the Pacific came out, they gave you 4 squads, 2 infantry, and 2 vehicles for $30, which is actually an amazing deal by comparison to what they're trying to do to people now. So it's just like, it's crazy to me. And it's like, yeah, I'm excited. The new update is coming soon, and great, you're increasing the turnaround time on your updates, but like at the same time, why are you charging more and more and giving the player base less and less? I just don't. And then it's the vehicles on top of that. It's not even infantry focused stuff, which again is supposed to be the main focus of this game. So like, it kind of sounds like I'm ranting or like I'm mad. I'm not. It's just like they're doing things that don't make a lot of sense. And that is why people are getting mad, and it makes sense when you think about it. Like, just take a step back and like think like, I don't know who it is that's in charge of the pricing of everything over there at Gaijin. I'm sure it doesn't really have too much to do with the marketing team as a whole, but like that singular person, whoever it is that controls what the price of everything is for these packs and how they are taking the value away out of them, somebody needs to sit that person down and show them the Fortnite model. Notice how when that game was coming up, they were not selling their skins or whatever the case may be for $30, $40, $50. Everything was like $10 to $15, if that. So it's just like, again, like I don't know if that person took a marketing class in college or whatever, or I don't know if there's just like a few niche whales that just keep buying everything that's not even worth the price that they're like putting for it. I don't know what the issue is, but I do know that if they want this game to succeed, they gotta start being a little more fair and what's the word I want to use, benevolent with these prices, because it's getting a little out of hand in my humble opinion. Not only are these vehicle squads extremely expensive or egregiously expensive, another reason or another thing that should really grind your gears is the simple fact that this is actually, and I didn't even notice because I'm not a War Thunder player, but upon doing some further research, I see that these are actually just some copy and paste assets from an entirely different game. So essentially, not only are they just not being creative, but they're also trying to bum an extra $50 off you, and I'm pretty sure it was cheaper in War Thunder, just like, you know, squads in general were cheaper not too long ago in this game. So I just feel like as a consumer, I feel like this is just very disingenuous, and I would urge people to not like fall for this tomfoolery and spend money on this nonsense, especially the amount that they are asking for. If it was like 10, 15, then I'd be like, you know, whatever, do what you want to do. But like, it just gets to a point where you guys are like, you guys are starting to be a little, what's the word I want to, like, disrespectful. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't be doing this, just copying stuff from another game. Like, oh yeah, give me $50, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this game would be so much better for it if they would just be a little more tactful with their pricing of their all their assets, honestly, especially if you're just going to copy and paste it from War Thunder, which again, I always say this in a lot of my videos. I don't know why Enlisted can't get the same amount of support that War Thunder can, because it would be just as big if so, but it is what it is. I guess it's just one of those things. But all in all, the only good that I can see out of this is that they are actually working on their major updates at a way faster rate than they were like a year ago. So I do want to applaud them for that. But like, just when it comes to pricing, you got to do better. And then to like do this off of the heels of the Liberator or the, you know, I guess the Liberation of Paris event, where people are already mad about the pistols and how lackluster that you know, event reward is. And then you just, you know, to come out and do this and ask for $50 more, just like a salt in the wound kind of thing. So I understand why people are upset. I get why people are mad. Does it really affect me at the end of the day? No, because I don't really spend money on this game like that much anymore anyways. I more so just play it just because I have fun playing it. I already unlocked everything that I really need. If it was something that was more compelling, or again, maybe if it was cheaper, I would be more inclined. But one, I'm not really a vehicle guy anyways. Two, this is Enlisted. This should be an infantry focused game. So for you guys that put these, like, it's been a lot of vehicle focused stuff you guys have been putting out lately. I don't know what's up with that. But my last thing is just like, you guys gotta, like, I don't know, look at your, whoever's in charge of the pricing, look at the Reddit threads, look at the YouTube comments, like, just look, man, and you will see that you are actually pissing off a lot of people. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. Do let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Are they getting egregious with their pricing, or do you feel like they're justified and they can ask for whatever they want since it's a free to play game? Or do you think they should take more of the Fortnite model and be a little more cheaper and maybe get more sales overall? I don't know. I don't know what they're seeing. I haven't seen their spreadsheets. I don't know what they gotta do, or why they feel justified in asking for $50 for 2 tanks that are BR4 or whatever the case may be. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys are thinking down there in the comment section. I'm gonna let the rest of this gameplay play out. And yeah, don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. Help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. And I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Black guy out.